jury mast rope mat or the masthead rope mat. Hello everybody, welcome back, and in today's little exercise we're going to do a little decorative mat here. To be honest, this is one of the simpler mats to do. It's very simple to tie the initial knot, and the initial knot is, I've done it in a previous video, is the jury mast knot or the masthead knot, and all I've done is compress this to actually turn it into a rather decorative looking mat. The other things you'll notice about this is, first of all, it is the jury mast knot. The next thing you'll see is in this particular one, I have done what's known as 3 passes. 1, 2, 3. So I've tied the initial knot and then I've gone round a further 2 times to create this mat. Now the thing is, with this one, I have just used one colour, but you can, if you want, you can have the 2 outside colours in one colour and then a different colour for the middle one, and it just makes it stand out a little bit more. But in my particular case, all I've done is I've done it 3 passes in one colour. And what I'll do as well is I'll put in the links, the descriptions below, a rough idea of how much cordage this uses, because the thing is, with this particular mat, it is a little bit cord hungry when you're making it. So that's just something to be aware of. So always over measure, and then you can cut off the excess at the end. But as you can see, it does make a rather nice decorative hot plate mat, something like that for your table. So anyway, let's get on and make the jury mast rope mat. So let's get knotting and I'll see you on the other side. So here we have, I've got a fair amount of cordage in front of me, and what I'm going to do is just center that cordage as such. It just makes it a little bit easier if you center it, and there we have my centered cordage. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take hold of my bite here. So I've got a bite here, and the next thing I'm going to do is just fold it over. So the left hand side, let's do that so you can see it, left hand side folds over the right hand side to form a loop at that point. So we've got our first loop. Now we want to repeat this again for a second time. So I take this one here and I get hold of the cordage and I fold it underneath, just fold it underneath to form another loop. And you can see now we have got our second loop. And let's get those roughly the same size, just makes it easier. So there we've got the second loop, and then once again, so simple, so easy, the third loop is exactly the same again. Just form a loop so that it passes over, and then as you can see now, it then goes underneath like that. And so just neaten them up a bit, make them nice and even, and there we have it, 3 loops. Right, so the next thing that we want to do is take the middle loop and just pass it over the left-hand loop. So they're crossing over at this point here. And then we do exactly the same with the right-hand loop, just pass it over the left-hand loop so that it's crossing at this point here. Right, now that we've done that, the next thing we're going to do is get hold of our 2, right, let's see this. We're going to get hold of this one here and this one here, and all we're going to do is cross them over. But the left-hand one, this left-hand one, passes over the right-hand one. So the left-hand one passes over the right-hand one till we get that shape there. Now that we've done that, the next thing that I want to do is I want to pull those through, and as I'm pulling them through, this is what I want to do. This one here will be pulled through, it'll go underneath this one here, over that one, and this one will, this one here will be pulled across to the left, go over that one, under that one. So if I take hold of these, so take that one underneath and take this one over, just pull them through, and as you can see, automatically, because this one's easier, it's automatically going over that right hand side there. But this one here still needs to go underneath that very left hand loop. So take it underneath that very left hand loop, just pull that through gently, and there you go, what we've done now, just slacken that off a little bit. What we've done now is we have in effect tied the jury mast knot or the masthead knot. Okay, so now that we've done that, we've got one final little step to do, and it couldn't be any easier, is this cord here. So take this cord here, here's my two ends. There's my two ends. So one end, let's go, goes down there, the other end goes there. And all I'm going to do now is get hold of the left hand end, this left hand end here, which is the red one, and I'm going to weave it through that knot. So I'm going to go underneath the first loop, bring it up, over this one here, then under the next one, then we've gone through the middle, then I go over this one here, under that one there, and come out over the top of that one there. So here we go, we're going to go over that one, under that one. So just take that through, over, under, and then pull it through. And there we have it. We have now tied the frame of our mat as such. You can see here, if I bring, I've lost the other mat, there it is. You can see here now, as I bring this one over the top, you can see where that structure is coming from. Is that the right way up? Nope, that looks like the right way up. So as you can see, that's what we're going to end up with. So now that I've done that, the next thing I'm going to do is, just to show you, I'm going to use a different colour on this one. And all I'm going to do now is, see where this one comes out here? I'm going to go on the outside of that one with this colour. So all I'm going to do now is follow this one here, follow it round, and all I'm going to do is run parallel to this lead here all the way through. So what I'll do is I'll just feed that through like so. Oops. So it's going to go underneath and then out through there, and then just pull through. We want a fair amount pulling through. So pull through a fair amount, and you can see here now it's running parallel to this one here. It needs to go underneath that one and then round and follow that one there. So all I'm going to do now is just weave it underneath, take the excess through. I probably want a bit more than that. And then now that it's got to the top here, I'm going to follow that one round there and just keep following it round. That's all I'm going to do now, is just keep following it round. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit more, and then I'll come back to you in a second on that. So as you can see, I've got to this point here, I'm at this point here, and this is my last little stretch before I come out again alongside my yellow one. And so all I'm going to do is just do a final over, then under, and then I've come out at the end. Now, some of you will also notice that what I should be doing now is putting a loop at this point here. So all I'm going to do now to make this mat a little bit more symmetrical, because you can see there's two loops there, but there's only that one loop there. So the next thing I'm going to do is just take these like so, pull those ones out, just pull those out, take them down through one more time. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is just weave these ones so that they go underneath like that. Take it underneath there. Just make sure they're nice and even on this side here. Underneath, then over those two there, just replacing where I pulled those out, and then take them underneath, and then they can disappear underneath and stay there. and then take that final one through, and then once, as you can see now, the next thing that I would have to do for my rope mat here is that I would go round and just pull up on all the bits. Just go round where there's any slack. You see, for example, there's a little bit of slack there. Pull that out and work your way round, pulling out the excess slack so that it just comes up nice and neat, nice and tight, similar to this one. After you've done that, the next thing that you would do, depending on what cordage you're using, you would then underneath here cut your cord to suit so that it wants to stay underneath tucked in, and then you've got a number of choices here. If you're using natural rope, if you're using proper 3-ply rope, what you can do is put a side splice into the rope which will lock all our cords together. Alternatively, what you can do is lay your cords together, and where they all join up you can put a bit of whipping round, or if you want to, you can use hot glue. Personally, I'm not a fan of hot glue, only because it's not as traditional. What I like to do is I like to just get it, side splice it, or if I can't side splice it because say it's a braided rope, what I would do is actually put some lashings around the strands where they all meet up. So anyway, that is how to tie the jury mast rope mat, or the masthead rope mat. So once again, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again next time. Thanks then. Bye bye.